credit cards. These little plastic rectangles that give us $2 as a reward for spending $200. They also let us sit in an airport lounge for 30 minutes, just enough time to flex on our social media. But what's most important is they give us the power to spend money we don't have. How much credit card debt do you think there is in America in total? Best estimate.
I'm gonna say like 10 million.
100 billion, I don't know.
300 billion.
3 trillion.
I would say in the trillions.
Do you think a credit card is important to have?
Responsibly.
Now, yes, everyone with a credit card will tell you they pay it off in full every month. But if that were true, why is America sitting at $1.13 trillion of credit card debt? Today, we're gonna find out. How old are you?
23.
How many credit cards do you have?
Right now, I have 2. Capital One, American Express.
How many credit cards do you have?
1.
Probably like 6.
Do you have any credit cards?
I did have credit cards. I was one of those statistics.
How much debt were you in?
$100,000 of debt.
Jeez Louise. Approximately 215 million Americans have credit cards. And 103 million of those people do have some type of credit card debt. Do you have any credit card debt yourself?
I have one that I'm trying to pay off currently.
I wouldn't call it debt, but I spend money every month on the credit card, yeah.
So the way I kind of do it is...
No, I don't. I only have one credit card. I keep up with it.
What do you use it for?
Shopping, food, sometimes here and there. Nothing too major.
No, I don't spend more than I make.
That's a simple rule to follow, man. At its worst, how much credit card debt was it?
10,000?
Do you know what happens when you carry a balance on your credit card from month to month? You get charged credit card interest. Do you know the interest rate on your credit card?
Interest rate.
Do you know the interest rate on your credit card?
My one has like 11%, my other one's 24.
And if you guys don't know what the interest rate is, this is the percentage you pay as a fee for borrowing money. And right now, credit card interest rates are at the highest we've ever seen. The average credit card interest rate, or APR, is currently sitting at 22.63%. Did you know banks made $113 billion off of just credit card interest and fees in 2022? There's a reason they can afford all those skyscrapers. But why do Americans love credit cards so much?
I think credit score drives so much of what you're able to accomplish here. I would say if you want to rent something, if you want to buy a car, if you want to finance a car.
It helps with a house, car.
It's money without money, you know what I mean? It's a number that can get you anything. You can walk in anywhere and get anything.
Where did you first hear about credit cards and like having to get one?
My mom made me get one at a young age. She said it was important to start at an early age so that you can build your credit, so.
Flight points, people using flight points.
Yeah.
And they may want to look into it.
You chasing the points?
Yeah, I love points. Chase is the best.
And credit card companies do a great job at marketing by giving you rewards, points, miles, and even those fancy metal cards that give you a sense of status. Why do you think there's this big culture in America around credit cards?
I think part of the hype is we've been sold the idea of the credit score rather than the idea of the net worth. And how important is the credit score? People say, well, you can't buy a car without this, you can't buy a house without that. And it's been disproved time and time again.
All a credit score is a measure of how well you pay back the money you borrow. It has nothing to do with your income or your net worth. It doesn't even have anything to do with your financial health. Because even sometimes when you do pay off debt, your credit score will go down. Now, we don't just bring up problems without posing a solution. I got my friend Jesse here. He's a financial coach, and he is down to drop some facts about credit cards and also to share how he's helped so many clients pay off credit card debt and all forms of debt. First off, Jesse, how much debt have you helped people pay off?
I've been a full-time financial coach for 45 months now. And in that time frame, my clients have paid off $2,624,000.
What patterns have you noticed in how people fall into credit card debt initially?
I think most, if not all, people start out with good intentions. We have the intention of paying it off. We have the intention, but you miss the payment by a day, miss the payment by a week, whatever. Life happens. I was actually having a conversation with a recent college grad. He said, well, my credit card's my emergency fund. But then you have an emergency plus 22.5%. So if life's going to happen, I want to have a pile of cash for just in case.
I also talked to someone who paid off over 6 figures of debt. Let's talk to Jenny and find out how she did that. What does it take mentally, and what kind of internal work did you have to do before approaching this debt?
Accept delayed gratification. Really focus not on the end goal, but really celebrating the small wins throughout my journey.
And when you were paying off this debt, what were some of the technical steps you had to take while paying it off?
I had a budgeting spreadsheet. I would figure out how much money was coming in from my paychecks every month. And then I would write down all of my expenses and see how much I had left. And then also had an app that helped me track my budget. It has really helped me because then it categorizes it for me and I can see every single transaction.
Yeah, so there's two primary tactics that are the most well known. There's the debt avalanche and there's the debt snowball. The debt avalanche says list your debts from highest interest rate to smallest interest rate because that tactic is about paying the least amount of interest. But I've seen more people give up on the avalanche than I have on the snowball. The snowball lists them smallest to largest balance regardless of interest because we get those quick wins. If we only owe $500 on one credit card and $2,000 on another and $5,000 on another, $500 is much easier to pay off than $5,000 regardless of interest rate. So if we can ignore and table that interest rate briefly and say, I'm going to attack the smallest one, get that payment out of my life, take that payment and roll it into the next one. Now that's when the snowball starts picking up snow.
What were the lifestyle choices that you had to make while you were paying off this debt?
To rent a room and not have my own apartment helped me cut my accommodation costs in half in order for me to free up more money to pay extra towards my debt. And I also drove an old 2000 Honda Civic for more than 8 years.
Now with any financial goal, if you are trying to pay off debt, it requires you to make a budget. And if you click on this video right here, I'll walk through exactly how a budget is made in the simplest way possible, and so it's something that you can actually stick to. Thanks for watching.